morning, everyone. Leslie Brock here. We're just checking the stream for a few more minutes while we share some slides. If you are watching on our webpage, you should be able to click onto the video and choose the full screen option. If we run into any problems with the stream, please come back to donatelifenw.org/lifesavers, and we'll post an alternate stream as soon as possible.
Good morning, everyone. Beth Hoover here. I am so honored to be on your board of directors, carrying on the legacies of my brother, my father, and my daughter, who all gave the gift of life, sight, and health to others. And I'm so glad to be with you this morning. It's going to be another great Lifesavers program coming up soon.
Oh, hey, how are you this morning? Grateful recipient and board member Mark Williams here, and I'm so excited to be here this morning with my Donate Life family. But you know what I'm even more excited about? Another wonderful Lifesavers program. So grab your cup of coffee, grab a bite to eat, and get ready. It's coming up soon. And hey, I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, it's Patrice Morris Ball, and I'm getting ready for Donate Life Northwest's annual Lifesavers Breakfast. Gonna finish this one and see you soon.
Just a couple more minutes, everyone. We'll see you soon.
Good morning. It's time to start the program. Hugamaheji. Welcome, everyone. I'm Noreen Smokey Smith, a grateful lung recipient and a volunteer on your Donate Life Northwest board. I'm so glad to be a part of the Donate Life community with you, and I'm excited to join you at this morning's Lifesavers Breakfast with inspiring stories and updates on programs that encourage and empower the gifts of life, sight, and health. As a longtime teacher and administrator, I helped create school curriculum on the history and the contemporary communities of Native Americans in Oregon. Your board has asked me to start this morning's program by sharing our acknowledgement that Donate Life Northwest works across ancestral lands that have been home to more than 50 Indigenous tribes. We recognize the impacts of centuries of violence and dispossession, and we respect the resilience of all Native peoples, including today's Indigenous nations of Oregon. The Klamath, Burns Paiute, Coquel, Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde, Cow Creek Band of Umpqua Indians, Confederated Tribes of Umatilla, Confederated Tribes of Siletz, Confederated Tribes of Coos, Lower Umpqua, and Siuslaw, and the Confederated Tribes of Warm Springs. As a member of the neighboring Washoe Tribe of Nevada and California, I'm grateful for the generous welcome these tribes give when I join other Native recipients and donor families to share our stories and information about donation. I honor my own anonymous lifesaver with every breath I take, and I want to thank everyone in the Donate Life Northwest community for being a part of the vital work of educating and encouraging people of many lands and cultures to be lifesavers. Hunga Ungawi. Thank you and enjoy the program.
Noreen, thank you so much. That was wonderful. What a perfect start to our morning of generosity and gratitude for everyone in the Donate Life Northwest community. And good morning to everyone joining us this morning. Welcome to the Lifesavers Breakfast. Thank you for tuning in to celebrate the gifts of life, sight, and health. For those who don't know me, I'm Leslie Brock, Executive Director, and I'm so honored to have been a part of the Donate Life family with you since 2014. As you may have heard, I will be leaving my position in the near future to start a family farm, but I am committed to making this a smooth transition to your next executive director. I'm extremely proud of all that the Donate Life Northwest community has accomplished during the past 7 years and hold dear to my heart the relationships I've built during my time as executive director. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to all who have been part of the Donate Life Northwest mission during more than 45 years of groundbreaking work. Thanks to you, this community and our shared work are strong and vibrant, and you continue to lead the way for the rest of the country. I have been so honored to serve as a leader for this incredible organization, and I will always be part of the community championing this vital mission of saving lives and improving health through the promotion of organ, eye, and tissue donation. The Lifesavers Breakfast is a long-standing tradition, and we are very grateful for the opportunity to share this community with so many of you, near and far, all connecting to celebrate organ, eye, and tissue donation and this community's work to educate, encourage, and empower more donors. So I want to start this inspiring program by thanking you, whether it's your first Lifesavers Breakfast or your 20th. Whether you're a donor family member carrying on a loved one's legacy, a living donor sharing the joy of giving, a transplant candidate waiting with hope, a grateful recipient paying it forward, a caring professional, or a friend, family member, colleague, or other supporter, you are a lifesaver. We have a terrific program for you today, and I want to start by thanking our generous sponsors. Platinum sponsors, Legacy Health, who are fantastic hospital partners in both donation and transplant. Their teams include Legacy Transplant Services, Devers Eye Institute, and the Oregon Burn Center. Premier sponsors, and the following. And now let's hear from one of those sponsors. She's the manager of transplant services at Legacy Health, and also happens to be your Donate Life Northwest Board Chair. Please welcome Kelly Leshkowitz.
Thanks, Leslie. And thank you so much, Noreen, for starting this morning's program with that important acknowledgement. I too am honored to serve as a leader on the board of directors, and I'm grateful for everyone on the board and throughout our Donate Life Northwest community for sharing their cultural knowledge and lived experiences as we work together to overcome barriers to organ, eye, and tissue donation and empower many more lifesavers. I'd like to now introduce you to one of our Legacy Health team members, David Nelson. He's our living kidney donor coordinator, and he has more than one connection to our Donate Life community. David?
Thank you, Kelly. It is truly an honor to work with living kidney donors and to be part of the team at Legacy. For me, it's especially rewarding to work in transplant services and to be here celebrating with my Donate Life community because it honors my own lifesaver. You see, 10 years ago, I was too sick to work. I was facing tough odds as I waited on the heart transplant list. After my first visit with the team at OHSU, I was hospitalized and told I didn't have much time. Because my condition, my common blood type, and a lot of luck, I was on the list for less than a month. And then I received the call. My donor's family was saying goodbye, but at the same time, I was getting ready for my second chance at life. Thanks to that young man's brave family and his precious gift of a heart, I'm able to live a rich life with my family. A year later, I met my donor family and joined them at the annual American Heart Association Heart Walk. Then 3 years ago, I was able to join the transplant team here at Legacy and enjoy my career of facilitating gifts of life. So on behalf of our entire team at Legacy Health, I want to thank you, Lifesavers.
Thanks so much, David. We're really lucky to have you on our team. Both as volunteers in the work of Donate Life community and as professionals in kidney transplant, David and I both get to witness the powerful difference we make when we work together to educate, encourage, and empower more people to be lifesavers. Donate Life Northwest programs are innovative and impactful and have often served as a role model for other parts of the country. And I'm excited for you to hear about the updates on this groundbreaking work from our Director of Education and Outreach, Amy Adelman. Amy, welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here today. As many of you know, I also have more than one connection to Donate Life Northwest. I am a recipient of 2 kidney transplants from 2 different lifesavers, a living donor and a deceased donor. Like David, I honor my donors by working with all of you to inform and inspire more gifts of life, sight, and health. This morning, I want to take just a moment to thank everyone for your adaptability and your resilience through the challenges of the pandemic. As we all know, organ recipients have suppressed immune systems and are among the most vulnerable to the virus. Constraints on the hospitals have made the wait more precarious for thousands of area kids and adults in need of their lifesaver. Together, we have been saddened by the loss of too many of our ambassadors in the past year and a half. So thank you to everyone for doing their part to keep our community safe, connected, and working on our shared mission. You have helped adapt and grow vital programs and shared lessons of generosity and hope that are even more valuable today. Those programs have been remarkably effective at opening hearts and minds to donation and have led to the unprecedented uptick in donation registration rates. Now, more than 2.8 million people have registered their decision, and most through our partners at the Oregon DMV. Like Donate Life Northwest, the DMV has had to work hard to adapt in the past year, and we are so thankful to the hundreds of staff members across the state who have attended remote Donate Life presentation, and to everyone who have helped facilitate more registrations than ever. Many young people register through the DMV soon after they have learned about donation and heard powerful stories through our high school programs. Despite classes being remote much of the past year, we reached thousands of students with our interactive online Go Recycle Yourself resources. and the powerful personal stories from our dedicated Donate Life educators. Even among many adults, there are still gaps in the understanding of the true donation process. Last year, we shared the start of our work of our documentary, A Donation Conversation, to give a closer look behind donation and transplant and the impact of generosity among immeasurable loss. Now, with your support, we have completed this powerful film, and it will premiere in its entirety in April of 2022. This morning, I'm very excited to show you an extended trailer.
When you have conversations in the car with your kids, they're ones that you kind of remember because there's lots of dialogue there. There's no place that they can't run off in any way, shape, or form. The girls were both in the car, and Abigail posed the question of just kind of what it means to be an organ donor. And Abigail then started asking questions, 11-year-old questions on like what you can you donate and how does that work? Fast forward October 21st, after she had been in the hospital less than 24 hours, and we knew that she wasn't going to make it. That conversation that I had in the car that seemed at the time to be so random came flashing to the forefront. It made me really solidify that it would be the decision that she would make for herself if given the opportunity.
The topic of organ donation usually isn't one that people just want to have at the dinner table, or when somebody meets you and they're like, oh, what do you do for work? And you say, oh, I help families whose loved ones are dying in hospital who have made the decision to be an organ donor. It's like usually where the conversation ends, right?
Saturday is my day to do all my medication organizing. Today's a dialysis day, so I'm just trying to get my medications lined out for the week. I have to introduce you to my companions also. This is Taffy over here. She's asleep. Say hi, Taffy. And here's Kiki. How you doing, kitty? Say hi to all the people.
So I spent a lot of my life waiting on a phone call. Over the years, I've kind of tried to live my life, as if I wasn't waiting. I think I've learned to live with my kidney failure as best that I can. I had my dialysis treatment last night, and it's always a little rough afterwards. I was pretty wiped out last night, but I'm feeling pretty good today. There's too much about life that I love to give up on that fight.
I remember looking at the clock, it was 7:45. I was like, oh my God, when I wake up, it's gonna be a new me. It's not gonna be the same feeling. And it was just a shocking moment to me to see like the clock, and then I'm awake, but it's a brand new me, a brand new day, and a whole new challenge ahead. Even though my body's healing, it still has a lot of energy.
You're irrevocably changed when someone you love so desperately dies. In grief, it's so finalized. But with donation, we get to be connected through this other piece. And it's so specialized. I feel really lucky to be a part of that.
It's this beautiful sliver of life that we get to bear witness to before it carries on life to the next person who was waiting for their own miracle. And it's in those moments that I feel so privileged to do this work and be with these people.
Abigail's donation helped people live, and I just hope that those people can help people live. Hopefully there's a perpetuation and a domino effect that if somebody is truly grateful, obviously they may not be able to necessarily give, but if they can talk about it and if they can make other people aware.
We are so grateful for our partners at Pacific Northwest Transplant Bank and area hospitals for allowing us the opportunity to explore their worlds. It was unlike anything I've ever experienced before. And we especially want to send a very special thank you to our amazing donor family heroes who were gracious enough to share their profound grief with us and allow us to share the beautiful stories of their loved ones who gave the ultimate gift of life. As you know, the powerful stories of donor families are essential to bring awareness to donation. And we are grateful to all the many donor families sharing their loved ones' legacies of generosity through Donate Life programs. Many of you were recently part of this weeks-long process of assembling the altar for this year's Donor Remembrance Celebration, brought to you by our partners at Lions Vision Gift, Pacific Northwest Transplant Bank, and Community Tissue Services. You can find more on our social media, but I just want to share a brief time lapse this morning so everyone can see a little glimpse of how it was assembled.
Hola, mi nombre es María Filisola. Soy la gerente de participación comunitaria en Donate Life Northwest. Elegimos tener este evento en torno a la celebración de Día de Muertos. El 2 de noviembre de cada año en México y otros países de América Latina honramos a nuestros antepasados, celebramos la vida y la muerte y recordamos a nuestros seres queridos que ya no están con nosotros. Durante las últimas 2 semanas, nuestro personal ha estado construyendo un altar que representa nuestra forma de honrar la memoria de sus familias, amigos y otras personas que se convirtieron en donantes. Hola, les queremos presentar nuestro altar del 2021. Aquí tenemos algunos de los elementos más importantes. Las flores adornan y aromatizan el lugar. Además, son una guía para los espíritus. Las fotos ayudan a que las personas reconozcan su casa y se sientan bienvenidos. Las calaveras de azúcar son una forma de agradecimiento. Las velas iluminan el camino y simbolizan amor. El papel picado significa la unión entre la vida y la muerte. A veces, algunas familias también incluyen comida.
Donor families are also central to the annual Threads of Life quilt that weave their stories along with those of living donors, grateful recipients, and caring professionals. These quilts are a beautiful representation of the diversity of the Donate Life community and the ways that gifts of life, sight, and health bring us all together. Our amazing volunteer board of directors represents the diversity of our unique and collaborative community, bringing a wealth of professional, personal, and cultural insights to the development of innovative strategies. With hundreds of passionate supporters and volunteers and a very small but dedicated staff, we recently came together to further elevate our mission of effectively promoting organ, eye, and tissue donation. The board and staff have begun a reflective process to analyze and improve organizational practices to further embrace diversity, equity, and inclusion throughout our Donate Life community and our shared work to encourage and empower more lifesavers. Donate Vida volunteers provide a wonderful example of community-based work that bridges barriers to donation through culturally resonant information and inspiration. Now, I'd like to introduce you to an amazing Donate Vida ambassador and one of our Royce Award Volunteers of the Year. She began volunteering even while on dialysis, and her dedication and multifaceted Donate Life story inspire us all. Please welcome Volunteer of the Year, Juana Hernandez. Juana?
Hola, buenos días a todos. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm very honored to receive this award. I'm grateful to share a little bit on my family's Dona Vida story with you. In my trainings, I have healthy and able to manage my housekeeping work and job in a store, along with being an active mom of 3. Then in my 30s, I started having headaches and nausea. I soon learned my kidney had failed. I needed dialysis just to survive. I was exhausted and weak and saw too many other patients pass away. I worried that I might not survive the wait for a transplant. I tried to stay positive and look for a way to keep my mind busy and help everyone waiting for transplant, and became una embajadora de Dona Vida. All of you became my community of lifesavers, and you helped me to hold on to hope. In May of 2015, I finally got the call that I was about to receive the gift of life. While it was a happy news for me and my family, I also thought of my donor and his family losing their loved one. When I learned my donor was 19 years old young man, the same age as my son at the time, I cried for his family and made a commitment to honor him in every way that I could. Later, I was able to write these letters for his family and tell them, my family send our condolences to you. We hope that we're able to find peace. The past 7 years have been difficult for me. I give praise and thanks to you, loved ones and family, for giving me a second chance of life. Every day that I enjoy the life with my children and grandchildren, and every day that I work to help others navigate healthcare systems, I am grateful to my angel kidney donor and his family. His gift inspires me to do everything I can to help more people follow his example. My family and friends have all seen my passion to Dona Vida programs, and they join me to honoring my donor and teaching others about donation. 4 years ago, my brother-in-law Marcos died tragically. It was a shocking and devastating loss, but our family already understood the need and the process of organ donation. So we found some comfort in knowing he could be a lifesaver as a rare kidney and heart donor, giving others the second chance that I had received. For other families, that decision is too difficult, especially if there are cultural and language barriers in the hospital, and if they haven't already learned and talked about donation as a family. I have been a volunteer of Dona Vida for many years because I like to inform our community of how important it is to share the gifts of life, sight, and health. And I told my story so more families will have those important conversations. Too many people are on dialysis with not enough donors. That is why I'm now part of Eliminemos la Espera, to support Latino patients in learning about transplant and donation, so they can teach Latino community. I'm so grateful to those who educated and encouraged me. I'm excited to start this new program for other Spanish speakers this way. I volunteered to honor my donor, and I want to dedicate my volunteer award to living donors and to the memory of deceased donors for their generosity. I'm so glad to be celebrating the precious gift of this donor with all of you. Muchas gracias, Lifesavers.
Thank you, Juana, and congratulations. You truly are an inspiring ambassador. Juana's personal and professional insights as a community health worker are invaluable in the development of this new mentorship program for Spanish-speaking patients. Thanks to Juana and all the DonaVita volunteers, this culturally tailored program will build upon the success of Erase the Wait. Now in its 7th year, with 13 cohorts so far and 72 patients who have been trained and 46 transplants to date, Erase the Wait, truly it has been successful. Our next volunteer of the year and this morning's keynote speaker is one of the Erase the Wait mentors, a founding member of WELD, Women Encouraging Living Donation, and an accomplished educator, sharing her many inspiring connections to donation with us this morning. Please welcome Patrice Morris Ball. Good morning, Patrice.
Thank you, Amy, and good morning, everyone. It's such an honor to receive this award with Juana, and I'm so excited to be here with my Donate Life community this morning. Like so many of you, I miss sharing a meal with hundreds of you, but I'm also happy that even more of us near and far can be part of this amazing celebration of organ, eye, and tissue donation. My family's Donate Life story really began when I was just 8 years old, and we lost my dear Aunt Carolyn in a horrific house fire. We didn't realize it at the time, but her legacy would one day inspire many gifts of life. First, though, my Uncle Rick, a beloved father of 3, would need his own lifesaver. In his early 50s, heart failure had him on the transplant waiting list, working hard to follow his doctor's advice and survive the long wait for a donor. After waiting for years and living 5 grueling months at OHSU, Rick's time was running out. Machines were barely able to sustain him, and his care team prepared our family for what might be his last few days. At the same time, another family was saying goodbye to their loved one, and it was their generosity amid loss that would give Rick a second chance at life. This is a square I made for the Threads of Life quilt in memory of our Tin Man, who got a new heart. Rick cherished the gift of extra years with his family and honored his donor by sharing his gratitude. The next chapter in my family's Donate Life story would soon follow. My sister Roberta had bravely battled type 1 diabetes since she was a child, but by age 30 was on dialysis. As Juana shared with you, life on dialysis is difficult, only an imperfect substitute for working kidneys. So Bobby and our family were very grateful when she received the gifts of both the kidney and pancreas from a life-saving donor. Unfortunately, her doctors soon found the new pancreas was failing. Eventually, she received another pancreas, again from an anonymous deceased donor. After 3 years, the kidney began to fail too, and a return to dialysis was imminent. But then a friend stepped forward. Marilyn heard that Bobby would need another donor, and she didn't hesitate. She immediately reached out to the transplant team, was found to be a good match, and shared the gift of life as a living kidney donor. Marilyn's gracious generosity gave hope to Bobby as well as so many others. Years later, Marilyn and her husband, Tom, continue to save lives as volunteers and generous supporters of Donate Life Northwest. Marilyn's selfless gift also inspired me in a new way. When my sister again faced kidney failure in 2008, I looked into being a donor myself. By then, my 3 children were old enough to help around the house. I had a secure job that allowed some leave, and my caring boyfriend would be there for me. That summer, I was able to donate a kidney to my beloved sister, and I'm so grateful I had had that opportunity. Thanks to her anonymous deceased donors, and thanks to Marilyn's gracious gift, and thanks to the opportunity I had to donate, my sister Bobby is living a beautiful life. She married her sweetheart Neil in 2014 and became mom to his young son. She's here for all of us who love her and doing her part to help give hope to others in need of transplant. Here's a photo of us at Donate Life Northwest's annual spring walk at Mount Tabor. As mentioned earlier, my story includes connections to organ, eye, and tissue donation. So now I want to tell you more about my Aunt Carolyn's legacy. Her sister Glenda had a long career as a nurse at Legacy Good Samaritan Hospital and knew of the ongoing need for tissue donors. In memory of her sister lost after that tragic fire, Glenda shared the gift of tissue donation when she died at age 78. Our family was so pleased that she was able to give that gift of life to numerous burn survivors. Our family shares these stories as lessons for others who might think they're too old to donate or that kidney donors must be relatives, for example. As Amy mentioned, I've been a mentor in the Erase the Wait program, witnessing the ways that empowered patients are opening hearts and minds to donation throughout their communities. I also enjoy being part of WELD, sharing our stories of living kidney donation through news outlets and community groups. In 2011, I developed a capstone class at Portland State University, focused entirely on Donate Life Northwest programs. Each year, I challenged my students to learn and explore all the many aspects of donation and to apply the skills and knowledge they've acquired at PSU to Donate Life programs. As with the high school programs that Amy spoke about, stories from donor families are especially eye-opening for the students in my class, and they come to realize that registering for organ, eye, and tissue donation can be a gift, both for recipients and in many ways for donor families too. More recently, I became even more grateful to all of you donor family members who share about the measure of joy your loved ones' donations have brought you, even amid terrible loss. In 2006, I met and fell in love with Byron Ball. Like me, he was a single parent and a teacher. He was there for me and my kids when I donated a kidney, and he loved learning and teaching about organ, eye, and tissue donation. I remember how excited he was to tour our local eye bank, Lions Vision Gift. Later, I would learn that his parents were among the first registered eye donors in the country. This is his mother's registration from 1956, when the world's first eye bank began to promote registration for cornea donation. Recently, Lions Vision Gift invited me to share Byron's story in this video.
Byron's training was as a wildlife biologist. He loved nature. He was a walking encyclopedia of plants, flora and fauna. If I needed to identify a plant or a bird, why look it up? I had Byron right next to me. He loved showing and seeing, and students would say, you know, I want to take Mr. Ball's class because he does a lot of field trips. And, you know, the students clamor to get in those classes. Bringing students here took it out of the book. You know, they weren't reading a book or looking at a computer. They were sheltering from the rain and feeling the wind and smelling the water. He impacted the way they looked at things. It's not a blessing to say goodbye to somebody, but it is a blessing in a way to have a chance to say goodbye. And he didn't die suddenly. We knew for several months that he was going to see the end. We didn't know how long, but we knew. And during that time, we had a chance to talk about donation, and we were sad that our lives together was coming to an end. And he was sad that he couldn't be an organ donor, that he couldn't donate his kidney and his heart because of the treatments that he'd received from the cancer and the cancer itself. We called Lions Vision Gift to ask, is there, is it a possibility? And we're quickly learned that they could possibly. He was excited. He was pleased that at least there's something, that's a silver lining. He passed on a Saturday mid-morning, and the family was around him, and when the phone calls were made and Lions was contacted, things went very smoothly, and we found out later that the cornea transplants were a great success. When somebody's life is saved because they got a new heart or they got a new kidney, that's amazing, but so is the gift of sight. That's amazing. Ask somebody who's looking at the face of their newborn child, or ask somebody who's seeing their first sunrise or fireworks. Isn't that amazing? And Sauvie Island is one of those places that persuaded him, and he loved being here. He loved the water and the birds. He loved just sitting out here for hours. When Byron knew his life was ending, he didn't care much about being memorialized or being buried somewhere. But when we talked about a place where a family could go to visit, this was the place. It was without hesitation. He would love spending eternity here, which is essentially how we chose this spot. If it was possible for Byron to be sitting here and we could think about that in that kind of strange imaginary way, the first thing I think he would say about cornea donation is, isn't that cool? Isn't that amazing that they can transplant cornea from one person to another? But also, isn't that wonderful? Isn't that joyous that now that person gets to see nature go through its seasons and watch trees leaf out and then die back again in the fall, and watch something new poke out of the ground, a crocus or a daffodil that we're seeing this time of year. That's the Byron I know. That's the kind of things he would be saying.
As with so many of you, Byron's generous gift to those in need of transplant were also gifts to me as I mourned his loss. This letter from one of his cornea recipients was a treasure to receive and means more to me than I can put into words. I can imagine his recipient looking at the brightly colored stationery, able to put pen to paper within the lines as she wrote, "I can't express how grateful I am for your husband Byron's generous gift. My eyesight was blurry and now everything is clear. No one knows how lucky they are to have good eyesight. And now, thanks to Byron, mine is good again." Today, I am so grateful for the joy of knowing Byron's gifts help two people to see. The joy I found in giving a kidney, the joy that others have given my family through donation, and the joy I find in being part of the vibrant Donate Life community with you. I want to educate and empower everyone to experience the joy of sharing gifts of life, sight, and health. But none of us can do that alone. To reach hundreds of thousands who have yet to say yes to donation with facts that resonate and stories that inspire, it will take each of us in the Donate Life community doing our part. That's why I'm joining with Juana, Noreen, and other leadership volunteers to issue a matching challenge. Do your part today, and we will match your Lifesavers contribution or pledge, dollar for dollar. I hope you will join us and give as generously as you can to support Donate Life Northwest programs. Together, we can continue the life-saving legacies of donors and give hope to the thousands of area children and adults who face the precarious wait for transplant. Thank you for being lifesavers.
Patrice, thank you so much. And a very special thank you to Lions Vision Gift for sharing that amazing video with us. Patrice, we are so grateful for all the ways that you share Byron's legacy and all your many family connections and your wealth of knowledge on organ, eye, and tissue donation. Okay, so you've heard from Patrice, and more than ever, these programs that share our lessons of generosity, gratitude, hope, and connection are in need of your support. Noreen, Juana, Patrice, and other leadership volunteers will match your gift dollar for dollar when you do your part to meet the challenge. Visit donatelifenw.org/lifesavers and make your gift or make a pledge today. Thanks to you, Donate Life Northwest has adapted efficient and effective programs to inspire more lifesavers. Now, if you are able, your help is vital to sustaining and growing these amazing programs.
And thanks to the Lifesavers Match Challenge from leadership volunteers, if you can renew, increase, or make your first Lifesavers gift or pledge, your contribution will go twice as far to give hope to thousands of area kids and adults waiting for their lifesavers. Go to donatelifenw.org/lifesavers for links to all giving options. Please give as generously as you can to help turn today's challenges into new opportunities to inform and inspire more gifts of life, sight, and health.
With your generosity, you are fulfilling the Donate Life Northwest mission
of saving lives and improving health through the promotion of organ, eye, and tissue donation. And you are giving hope to the vision of a future
where everyone gives and no one waits for a transplant.
Thank you
for being a lifesaver.